What's up, y'all? It's your girl, She Loves Light. Hope all is well. I know my video before last, or maybe 2 videos before the last one, I spoke about my New Year's resolution. However, was cut off because my sister called me and I was recording through my phone, and then I lost my train of thought and lost the enthusiasm. So I was like, that's it. But I do want to come back and let you all know one of my other New Year's resolutions, and that is to read more. As you all know, that I am an attorney. So, of course, law school, I was reading a whole lot. And even as an attorney, I read a lot, but I don't really have time for leisure reading. So, I've made it a resolution to read a lot or read just more. I do have a goal of this year. I want to read 45 books by December. That is my goal. And I'm shooting, I don't even think that's a lot, but I was calculating, I think I need to read at least 3 books, and then a couple of months I need to read 4, which isn't bad. In January, I read 4 books. In February, I started 2, didn't finish them, so I don't count those. Because I was working a bit much in February, and in March, I have 3 books on my list. And I intend to read all 3, and hopefully I can read 1 more. So I'm shooting for 4, but right now I have 3 that are on my list to read. I also want to say that I am on Goodreads. I don't know if I'm under She Loves Light. I think I'm under my real name, Brenda. I'm not sure if I have my last name listed, but if you are also on Goodreads, please let me know how I can find you, and maybe we could hook up. Um, so, so I really love reading. Ever since I was a child, I read, and then life happened, and you have to work and all this other stuff, and reading kind of takes the back burner. I also want to say this, that I started to get more heavy with reading. I started to read a bit more at the end of last year, maybe like October or so, and I read a lot of books from October to December, which was really good. Also, I am on a minimalist journey. So one of my big issues was like, how do I resolve the fact that I love physical books, that I have to touch them? I want to highlight them. I want to write in them. How do I resolve that issue with trying to be a minimalist? And I already have a lot of books. They're not a whole lot, but there are a lot. And, some are in storage, some is they're tucked away in my room, but I do have a whole lot of books. And so I wrestled with like, how do I still, you know, do what I enjoy, which is reading, but also not, it's not filled with like books all over my house, which can, take away from my whole minimalist journey. So how I resolved that issue was, I don't know what came over me, but I don't know if I went to no, I just went. So this is what I usually do sometimes. That particular day, I decided to look for a book that I wanted to read, see if the library had it. And I was like, oh, this would be a great idea if I just rent my books or loan my books from the library. And then I can still have the physical books, although I may underline and stuff in them, but at least I have the physical books. And if I really, really like it, guess what? I can just purchase it, right? So that's how I resolved it. So I went to my local library and I picked up my book, and I got so nostalgic because like that is the library that I grew up at, and that's why I used to go to read all my books. And I used to have like all these summertime programs. It was amazing. So I was like, wow. And another big thing, another real big reason why I decided to go that route is that in Miami-Dade County, they take a lot of funding away from libraries because they claim that we don't use them. And they're taking funds away from our neighborhoods. So, that's one thing. My goal is to sit on the board or be a friend of the library. It's this thing called Friends of Miami-Dade County Library. That's what I really want to do, because the library really deposited a lot in my life. Like if I didn't have that in my community, God knows, like it really, really, I think changed like the trajectory of where I could have been. So, I really thank God for the library. I really love the library. It kind of gets me a little teary-eyed because I don't know, we just need our library. So this is a way for me to use the resources in my community, and also kind of take a stand and say that we do use it and that they should stay here, So I go to the library, and so I'll just tell you all what my 3 books are for this month. So usually a lot, I'm sorry, I just read a text message. Usually a lot of the books that I it's from me like reading something, reading articles, or if someone tells me about a new book, or if it's on New York bestsellers, whatever, just like through just the word of mouth is usually how or if I watch an interview and someone, that famous or someone is on interviewing about their book, or if I see someone and I just Google them and I see they have a book and I'm interested in that person, I'll buy the book. So it's different ways as to how I pick the books that I want to read. But because I go through the library, it's really about availability. So I have a lot of books that I'm waitlisted on. And so what the library does is text me whenever, it's my turn to pick up the book, whenever my number goes up. So usually that's the way a lot of my books are chosen. It's just like, if I'm number 18 and then I'm next, then I got to get it, and you usually can't extend your loan time, because especially if those books are popular and there's a wait list. But there are other books that I've read that weren't waitlisted, so I could extend it a bit more. But for the books that I'm going to show you, they do have long wait lists, so you can't extend it. You have the 30 days to read those. And so that's why I usually read them first, and then I read the other books that aren't on waitlisted in the library. So I'm sorry, I felt like that was a bit lengthy, but y'all get me. Anyway, so let me show you all the books quickly. So the first book that I'm going to read is, I don't know if it's going to be the first book that I'm going to read, but one of the books that I'm going to read in the month of March is The Nightingale. It's by Christian Hannah. The Nightingale. Okay. And I read this, I think I read a Huffington Post article about some books that we should know. No, actually, I think it was like Goodreads, like best top books of 2015 or something like that. I forget how I chose this book, but this is one of the books, and this is a book that is waitlisted, so I need to read this within 30 days. So that's one. And the second book I'm going to read is by L.A. Reid, and it's Sing to Me. I just watched a lot of his interviews about this book, and so I decided to put my name on the wait list, and it really popped up quickly because I definitely requested L.A. Reid after I requested The Nightingale, but I guess it was a shorter wait list, so I got this. He looks so fine. I'm sorry, I have like this thing for older black guys with like, gray beards and, sparkles. I don't know. I think he looks so good in this to me. He looks fine. Anyways, and the third book that I'm going to read, this is one of the books I started in February, at the end of February, but I didn't complete. It's Deep Waters, and it's by Natalie Michelle. So I personally know this author. We went to school together. And yeah, I don't want to give it all, but it's a story about her life and some of the tumultuous times in her life. Yeah, it's a really good book. And the fact that I know her and I didn't know she went through all this kind of breaks my heart. But I'm so proud that she, overcame with Christ. Man, I'm telling you, you can do it. And so this is also a very inspirational, religious-based book, but it's a biography about her life. And yeah, it's really good, y'all. So I'm going to try to read this I'm going to try to finish this by this week, which I should. I'm actually trying to finish it today. And then I can get into the other books. So those are the 3 books that I'm reading. I'm going to try to jump and get one more book in. And yeah, something that's not too thick, because those other books may take a bit of time. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm reading. One of my New Year's resolutions to read more books. I do have a goal. My goal is 45 books by December. I'm not sure if I told you all that, but that is my goal. I'm on Goodreads. I think I'm just Brenda on Goodreads, but if my name is something different, I will put that below. I look forward to you all telling me what you're reading, what you have read, or what is on your to read list. Yeah, I'm excited. I love the challenge, but I also love books. I really, really love books. I read a couple, and I think I wrote a blog post about the books that I read in January. I think I read like 4 books in January, and they were all so good. And one of them was Americana, which was a really, really good book. What else did I read? Americana. I read The Girl on the Train. Oh my God, that book is so good. So y'all, just check me out if you want to read that post. I'll link it below about the books that I read in January. And tell me what you're reading currently. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, peace.